How's it going, people? Welcome back to the channel and another 1-on-1, 2 in 3 days. Come on, people. I told you I'm back at it. But I get it. I understand the pessimism. I'm Mr. Pessimistic myself when it comes to Arsenal. But I am back. The channel is back. And I want to say thank you because I've just seen that we've surpassed 90K. Let me just refresh that. Let me make sure. Yes, we are 5 over 90K. Love for the love. You know what's mad? This channel for nearly a year has been stagnant, dormant, whatever word you want to use. It's just the community stayed strong. I moved Big Six over from this channel to the main Big Six channel, and obviously there's focus on that. There's AFTV as well. Really, when I look at it, my channel throughout the last 5 years has been kind of on the side, whether it was when I was doing Royal Mail or when I joined AFTV on a more full-time basis. Like, to hit 90K is crazy. But you know what? I've always promised that I'm going to take this channel more seriously, and I am going to take this channel more seriously. Big up Max. I see you in the comments because Max has already helped level it up, and he's going to help level it up even more. He knows some of the plans behind the scenes in terms of a couple shows I've got in mind, a podcast I've got in mind, a couple familiar faces, familiar voices I've got in mind. It just all has to fall into place at the right time. So far, the OGs, me and Curtis, big up Curtis, that's fallen into the right place every Monday, or so it seems for now. It might be Tuesday, it might be Sunday. You might mix it up. If you're subscribed, you'll know. That's all I can say. One-on-ones are back. As soon as there's news, I'm gonna, if I'm available, if I'm about, if the camera's ready, I'm gonna go live. Why not? That's what I used to do. That's how we built this community, going live and talking. Come on, over 500 people here. Hit the like button, people, because good news. I mean, I say good news. I mean, it's expected news, but it's good news. I mean, 3 days before the window's about to end, we've secured Merino. I'm saying that right. Merino? Yeah, I'm saying that right. Because I see a lot of people going mad about the pronunciation of his name. Listen, we'll just call him Mikel, but I think it's Merino. If it's Merino, it's Merino. Hit the like button. The numbers are going up 600 plus already. Let's get as close to 1,000. If you're watching this afterwards, I know a lot of people don't catch it live. You catch it after. Hit the like button, people. It means a lot. Let's get to 1,000 likes and subscribe. The road to 100K is actually right there now. Ever since 50K, I said, the road is to 100 now, because 60, 70, 80, 90 is, it's like celebrating your 36th birthday. It's not really, wait for the big 40. I'm speaking for myself here. I know people that celebrate every single one. And listen, every single one's a blessing. Every single day is a blessing. But you get my drift. 100K is in sight now. It's 10K away. Like I said, big up the man them that have already hit it in the last few days and last few weeks, and the man them that are going to hit it in the next few weeks. Because I know Matisse, 100%, the way he's moving, studio setup wise and thought process wise and work rate rise, 100K soon come. But big up, love for the love, people. Hit the like button, make sure you're subscribed. And yeah, like I said, Merino's over the line. And it's more good news for me now because as much as it's expected, it's 3 days now. 3 days they have to do something else. The old Arsenal way would have been to wait for maybe Thursday and then confirm this one. And that would have taken us through the deadline day. And, we would have done nothing and, tried to pull the wool over our eyes and whatnot. We've seen that before. This time around, it seems like we've got it done, and I can tell with the price, because we can talk about the price. I don't really care about the price. I mean, you want him, you get him. That's just how I see it, whether it's Merino or whether it's Mbappe or Isak. Let me not bring Mbappe back into the question. He chose Madrid, people. He chose Madrid. Not that we gave him a choice. But yeah, I mean, the price, a lot of us thought it would be in the mid-20s. It's actually what, 28.5 mil pounds. And obviously, I'm going to speak in pounds because I'm here in England, in the UK. So that's the currency we deal with. But I know euros wise, what is it, 33 mil or 32.5? Either way, it's looking like 32 mil with the add-ons included. I guess some of the add-ons will include winning the league and appearances, maybe. I don't know. Something along those lines, realistic ones to help Get it up there. We got the community in the chat as well. We're gonna talk soon, people. Like I said, the show's about you. There's 850 plus people now, so hit the like button, people. I'm gonna get into the comment section and whatnot. Before you lot sway me left, right, and all of that with the topics, because this is what the show's about. You know, I put a title out there, but it can really go left sometimes, and the main topic becomes something else. But I like the signing. I like the signing. I spoke about Merino 2 years ago, or maybe 3 years ago. We done a transfer show on AFTV. It's out there somewhere. AFTV actually clipped it up recently. We done a transfer show where, what was it? A European draft, where you can pick. I don't know how I landed on him, to be honest, but I do remember, hearing his name and seeing his name come up when talking about, good passers in the league, and players that were going into their prime, and players that have got that Spanish about them. That's what I say. That Spanish about them in terms of ball safety, and like I said, the passing side of things, and the technical side of things in general. I mentioned his name, and back then it was because he was, I won't say causing noise. I don't think he's been causing noise now either. It's more quietly going about his business. Now that Arsenal have secured it, or now that Arsenal were linked a few weeks ago, you start seeing the stats about the duels and the through balls and the passing and whatnot. And when you see those stats come to light, very, very strong in multiple departments. So like I said, it's someone that's quietly been doing his business, and it's not often you'll get clips of me saying, let's get this guy, and then we get this guy. So I'm a bit proud of that one. Hopefully he goes on to help us win the league, and I'll be like, yep, that was the vision, people. That was the vision. And on the other hand, there's someone else that I've been talking about for a couple of years as well that's about to exit the club, and that's a very different feeling too. So we're going to talk about that. Not that we don't need to. Last couple of lives, the OGs, and the last one-on-one, we spoke a bit about Eddie. Done deal, goodbye, well done. What can we do? Nice price. But yeah, Merino, I mean, attribute wise, I like him. I like the fact that he's a natural 8. You look at our squad and we don't have a natural 8. I mean, Ranieri, people might say, but really, we don't know where he's going to land yet. We have to see how he adapts to the grown men's league. At the end of the day, he might be an 8, he might be a 10. Who knows? He might be a winger that floats inside. We don't know yet. But in terms of a natural 8 that really we've needed for a little while. I mean, I know Xhaka had a quality season 2 years ago, but up until that quality season, for 2-3 years we were crying out to replace Xhaka. I say we, me, and a few others, a lot of you in the community. That's why you're subscribed. Big up the subscribers, 90k and all of that. Hit the like button. We've passed 1,000. So a message just come through, and big up everyone that's applied for the graphic designer and editor role or roles. I don't know yet, or we don't know yet how many is going to be available via the big 6. Big up everyone that's applied so far, man. It's been mad. Still going through them. Still haven't opened probably 60% of them yet, or 50%. I'd say we're halfway through. But big up, the community is always showing love. I knew the Toney and Robbie stuff was going to come up. I knew it. Don't worry, we'll talk about that too. I mean, I think it's worth talking about. Chelsea have moved for him. I'm going to get into, the title says Merino done deal or something like that. Merino deal confirmed. That's what the title says. If I just looked up, I would have known. But it also says, but what's next? And that's where, we talk. Because what we're going to talk about Merino, I'm going to give you my opinion of him. I'm going to check your opinions of him. Then we're going to move on to what's next, because we ain't got time to dilly-dally. Every minute that goes past, it's eating up time. We're coming up to 3 days away, or, pretty much, what is it, 11 p.m. UK time on Friday? Is that the deadline? I think so. If it is, it's 3 days, 1 hour and 45 minutes away. So every minute counts right now. So we'll talk about Merino. Like I said, I like him. What's interesting is the whole left-footed thing. I think I mentioned it on OGs yesterday with Curtis. When you think about because I think he's coming in to be a starter. Maybe not straight away, but similar to Raya. Um, I think he's coming in with the vision that 2-3 games later he picks his place, or he gets his place, and we don't look back. And I think that place will be 8. Um, I see a few people in the comment section asking about that, and we're going to get into that too. But I'm just going to give you my opinion first. Like I said, um, for me, it's an 8. Reason being, listen, I think Rice done very well in the 8 last year. I mean, what I think I keep saying 7 goals, 7 assists. I haven't checked. I don't know why that's on. Is that right? He got 7 goals, 7 assists last season. Declan Rice in the 8 position mainly for the season. That's good numbers. That was better numbers than Xhaka the year before, who had a quality season. And in my opinion, Rice done well in a role that I didn't really see him fit for. Rice coming in, I always looked at him as the destroyer, as someone that's going to play the 6 and make it easy for the 8, make it easy for the 10, make it easy for the centre backs. That's what I saw in Declan Rice coming in. Now he came in and Arteta gave him that role, probably because it didn't work out with Havertz. I do believe the initial thought process would have been Declan Rice, Kai Havertz, Odegaard. And I'm pretty confident about that, if I'm honest with you. Havertz didn't work out. Rice slotted in. Jorginho stepped up. And, that the rest is history. We saw what we saw. So now Mikel's coming in. I say Mikel Merino. I think Rice goes back to what I believe Arteta had in mind for him in the first place, which was a 6. Now, question is, does Merino add the forward passing, the breaking of the lines from the deep position? Now, I'm not going to sit here and say I've watched a hell of a lot of him, but I've seen a bit of him over the years. Like I said, a couple of years ago, I mentioned him on a transfer show when no one was talking about him. So I noticed him for sure. Thing is, and even when I read further on him now and in recent weeks, he can play the 6. I think he done that for Spain in the Euros. He can play the 6, and he's majority played the 8 in his career. But for me, in the 6, there's question marks about breaking the line. I think he's more a receiver between the lines than a, someone that breaks the lines. That's just the impression I get. Now, again, it's not like I know the utmost about him. It's just that I prefer, or I preferred seeing him in that role because, like I said, he's got that drop of the shoulder. He's got that turn in the half space. He can run into the inside channel. And in my opinion, we're going to talk on Martinelli too. He's going to help. He should help Martinelli a lot. If not Martinelli, he helps at that left side a lot. And I say if not Martinelli, that's because Martinelli, let's hope that it does click again. And it was a case of tactics and instability in that left side overall, left back and 8 position over the years or last year. So for me, he's an 8. I think Rice 6. But like I said, then I asked myself, do we have someone that can break the line? But then you have a Timber who inverts from the left back position and he can break the lines with his running. And we have Zinni in the left back position who can break the lines with his passing. We have Calafiori, who from the brief minutes I've seen, and when I say brief, I mean it's the true definition of the word brief. The brief minutes I've seen, he does look like someone that can break the lines on the ball too, and probably off the ball. I won't say I've seen enough for him to say he's a passer. I mean, I've seen him maraud on the ball. I think we all have for that goal in the Euros that got Italy out of the group stages in the dying minutes. So I think, are they the ones that unlock the pass into the final third? Is that the plan? Because then you bring in Marino's, because I've just talked about his attacking qualities and technical qualities, which I think is an upgrade on Declan Rice in the 8. If you bring in the other side of the coin, which to be honest is being more spoken about because he has been top of aerial duels in the past 12 months in Europe. And by some distance, I think he's 40 or so off second place. I can't even remember. Was it Kudus in second? That's just off the top of my head. Again, it doesn't matter who's in second. Like I said, he was clear. When you bring that side into it, what we know of Declan Rice, he wins the ball back a hell of a lot. He can intercept. He's one of the best at it. He can break up play. He gets about. Now we're bringing in someone else who wins the most duels in Europe. And whether he wins the most going forward or not, he's going to be up there for sure. And I love Jules because Jules are 50-50s, and 50-50s indicate that you're on it. And you lot know I like a player that's on it. You know, and by on it, I mean the ball's there, go win it. Whether it's a tackle, a header, a shot, a pass. And that also means that he's probably susceptible to a yellow card. To be honest, I should have checked that out before going live. You lot probably know more than me, because in 50-50s, when you do lose them, and I'm sure he loses a fair few, if you're top of Jules 1 in Europe, you've lost a hell of a lot too, because you must go in for a hell of a lot. So let's put that into perspective too. And this league is fastest paced. Yeah, fastest pace. So it'd been interesting to see how he adapts. But he also, comes from that school of, Spanish. You know what? When I say Spanish midfielder, we know what we're talking about here. And I'm not saying he's hit them heights or will hit them heights, but he was highly sought after when he was young. I mean, Dortmund picked him up. It didn't work out there. I think he was there for a year, if that. Newcastle as well. No, Rafa liked him. Didn't work there either. Sociedad, it seemed to have worked. On top of the most Jules won as well. I forgot. I'm lucky. I put some notes down. I'm getting better, people. See, I'm doing more shows. I'm actually bringing notes to the table. Like, subscribe, hit the like button. Like, it's all mad. Where is it? In 5 of the 6 seasons since 1819, Merino recorded the most through balls. So in 5 of the 6 seasons, in 5 of the last 6 seasons, I assume that is, Merino's recorded the most through balls for Real Sociedad. So we flip it back to the attacking side now as well, which that alone should tell a lot of us that he has more about him than Declan Rice in that position. When you consider Sociedad, wasn't he playing with Odegaard? Nerdy stuff, bro. I'm out here, bro. Don't let me into these press conferences. If I start bringing my notes into these, hey, don't let me in. Let Curtis and them man do that. Big up Curtis. But that's stats. I like that stat. I'm not gonna pull out the pen and start writing down if I don't like it. I like it. Actually, I probably put some negatives down as well, so don't quote me on that. But Odegaard's played for Sociedad. David Silva's. Wait, let me not say that. 18, 19, 19, 20. Yeah, David Silva's played for Sociedad. So whilst these players are playing for Sociedad, Merino's actually, for the large part, 5 of 6 seasons, had the most through balls. That, for me, couple that up with Jules 1, what are we getting here? It sounds good on paper. And like I said, I've already watched a fair bit of him over the years in conjunction. I'm not going to say I watched a fair bit of him last season or the season before that, but in conjunction over the last 3 years, I've seen enough of him. Enough of him to mention his name on a video 3 years ago, and enough of him to say, you know what, it's a level raiser now. And to be honest with you, people can argue, and the argument would be right. Raising the level of the 8 position is not difficult when there isn't a natural 8, and that's fair. That's fair, but I think when I say level raise, I also mean the attributes that he possesses, not necessarily the fact that, we're crying out for an 8 and finally we've got an 8. The attributes he possesses intrigue me. Jules and through balls. I like the sound of that. I like this. Go into that 50-50, win that ball, and then slide through Martinelli. And now that we move on to Martinelli, again, I got the super chat saved. The chat is there, 1.5k. Hit the like button. Let's get to 1,000 likes, people. Come on, I've hit 90k subscribers. Love for the love. But why not get to 1,000 likes on the video as well? Martinelli, for me, again, from what I've seen of Merino, I've just talked about his through balls. A lot of his passing is to bring the winger in on that left side. If you've got a winger that can break the lines, just hold his run, and Martinelli can do that. We have seen that of him at his peak. It's just that the peak was quite a little while ago now. It's been a year since he hasn't really been his 22-23 self in terms of Premier League season. But like we said, maybe that's because Xhaka left, and then it was meant to be Havertz in the 8, and then it turned out to be Declan Rice, and he's not the most technically gifted, and yappa yappa yappa, basically. And Zinchenko, and yeah, we can go on. That left side has been, shaky to say the least in terms of consistency and stability. So I'll give Martinelli the benefit of the doubt. But Merino comes in now, and I expect Martinelli to also improve, and I expect his fortunes to get better too, because I expect then a threat to emerge from that side, because we know our main threat, and I say main, I mean it's not our only threat. It's not our only threat, but it's definitely our main threat. Is the Odegaard, Saka, Ben White triangle, Odegaard, Saka, Havertz. It's that side, It's Odegaard, Saka, the core of it, and most things happen via there. Um, it's about time we sort that left hand side out. And I think Marino has the attributes and qualities, and like I said, with the through balls and the ability in half spaces, I expect Martinelli to score a few goals off the back of this. You know, I expect, because Marino is also a guy that, like a Spanish midfielder, he's gonna wait and draw the man in. He's gonna pass it at the last second. He's gonna open up the space. You know, dare I say, the word space. You know, but that's what he does, people. That's what he does. I'm glad I only mentioned space now, though, because I've talked about everything else he does. So this ain't a space invader thing. This ain't a Havertz regen. This is my expectation that Martinelli actually has a player in the 8 that attracts the attention of defenders enough to take them away in moments from that left hand side. Because I think it's been far too easy to mark that left hand side, our left hand side, for the opposition in the last year. And when you think how close we came at the end of last season, I mean, if Merino does unlock even 50% of Martinelli 22-23, we win some extra points. We do, because we score some more goals. We do. So yeah, Merino all round. Let me go back to my notes. Imagine I wrote down the word tenacious. Tenacious. He is tenacious. He is tenacious. But imagine I wrote that down. I definitely read that somewhere. He's aggressive. He's on it. I talked about the jewels already. I talked about, he's on it. That's what we need to know. Man, am I laughing? What? I can't describe a footballer as tenacious. What? Get used to it, man. This is 90K Turkish, man. When I hit 100K, you lot better hope I don't retire. You lot better hope I don't retire. What else have I got here? Penetrative. That's what I've got. This is what I've got. Crazy, I know. But I'm trying to give you the lowdown, people. I'm trying to give you that balance of punditry, analysis, and conversation. Big up Red. Red. I miss Red, man. Red, you need to come to a game in London, man. Let's talk. Seriously. I've also got his starts here. Yeah, it's not. Nah. That's that. People are saying zesty. I get it. I'm not gonna lie. That was crazy, but it is what it is. His starts look good though. His starts look good. 27 last season, 28 the year before that, 33 the year before that, 24 is his lowest, which was the first season. Starts seems consistent enough. But like I said, the left-footed thing is it's going to be interesting. So Merino, left-footed. Odegaard, left-footed. Saka, left-footed. Havertz, left-footed. So Martinelli is going to be the only one of that front 5, and that's assuming where it's going to be Martinelli or Trossard. They're going to be the only one of that front. I say front 5. I mean, we're talking about when the 8 aids the attack. He's going to be the only one, Trossard or Martinelli, with a right foot. I know we've got Nelson there as well, but I assume he's going to be used very sparingly, even if he does make it past Friday 11 p.m. But 4 left-footed players out of the 5 in attack. I don't know. I've never seen that. I've never seen that. And even when we go back, actually, nah, we're good. In all other positions, we're good, to be honest. Even our left back's right-footed at the moment. But in terms of the attack, with Merino there, in terms of the 8, 10, Saka, Havertz, that's 4 left-footed players. I've never seen that. Ranieri, another one. Saka uses his right foot, but I'm talking about predominantly. These men are Saka wants to get on his left. That's where he gets the majority of his goals, the majority of his crosses. Odegaard, left foot. Merino, left foot. Havertz, left foot. So I don't know who's been the because you've got 4 there, and then really you add in Gabriel as well. That's 5. You add in Gabriel, that's 5, and sometimes we'll play Calafiori, and that'll make it 6. Zinni will make it 6. 5, 6 left-footed players in the starting 11. I don't think anyone's ever done that. This is where shit. I should have done more notes. This is where I need to do research and bring depth and all of that to the plate. But don't worry, that comes at 100k. Depth and research comes at 100k, people. So make sure you subscribe, and all of that. Big up Curtis, though. Big up Curtis. Actually, I'm gonna go do some super chats now. Get the community involved, and then I'm gonna say big up Curtis because he got Ben Jacobs on earlier. And listen, I don't know who these guys are, but I think he's one of the people that people say no about Arsenal and transfer stuff and all of that stuff. So I watched it, prior to this because I've done my research. Do your research. I've done my research, and I watched Curtis's stream with Ben Jacobs, and I found that. I won't say I found that quite a bit, but I found out some interesting points. So we're going to get into that. But let's get into the super chats first. Finally sold Eddie Sonogo. Big up Temi. Come on, my bro. I know. You know what? I'm more worried about what we do with that money in the next 3 days than I am about him leaving. I mean, for me, he was never here. That was a myth. It was an urban legend. I don't even know if it was true. So the less said on that, the better. Or soon enough, anyway. Big up, gifted 1 membership. Merci bien, la famille. Man, I know French. Can't mess about. Big up, Turkish says, so I Suj. Love, man. You're always here supporting. Have I made you a mod? Are you a mod? Let me sort this out if you're not a mod. Should be a mod. You're always here supporting. Now I can't find your last chat. Yeah, peak, Suj. If you leave another comment or something, then I could put actually. So I'm saying, where are we? Super chats. I can get it through here. Where are we? There we go. There's Suj. Add as moderator, standard, save. We're in. Let me see what you're saying. Big up Turkish. Hit the likes and subscribe. Road to 100k. Love for the love from the resident Australian Gooner. Come on. Big up everyone out in Australia too. I can't lie to you. I don't know if I'll ever meet you. Unless Suj, you come over to the UK, London. But Australia, as much as I'd love to go, I don't think I'd make it. That flight is it would just drive a man insane. Like, it would just drive a man insane. I don't think I'd make it. It would have to make emergency. When you just 17 hours? Nah, 11 hours is mad enough to LA, or 10 and a half and Cancun, and that's been the longest I've done. But 17 plus 7 or whatever it is, nah, that's a whole day. I'll big up Australia, New Zealand, and everyone over that side showing love. Maybe one day. Maybe the big 6 to it. Maybe. Can't promise you. But love for the love. LJ says, you're right, though. Where's this 200 million war chest? We all know we need a striker. P.S. When is that reverse Uno card starter pack? Robbie, KG gonna pay you. Man said reverse Uno card starter pack Robbie. Hey, reckless community. I know there's a couple of you in this chat now waiting for KG stream at 10 p.m. Look how your leader's being spoken about over here on this channel. No respect. Yeah, no respect. No respect. I only got my money for higher finish last season today. But you know what? Let me not use that because it's not KG's fault. It's not, and it's not my fault. It's just I didn't chase it up, and KG didn't chase up his invoice for Big Six Extra. So they worked in conjunction. He chased up his invoice. I chased up my bet, and we're here right now. But to be honest, he hasn't taken no bet, bro. Like we've got the Ten Hag Arteta one, which is who's to be sacked first. To be honest, I've won that one already. It was who says Ten Hag, like he says Ten Hag out, or I say Arteta out, or one or the other gets sacked. That was the bet. He's already said Ten Hag out. He said that I've got the clip. He knows I've seen it, but I just said, you know what? Roll that over to next year. Don't worry about it because he's gonna get sacked anyway. So roll that one over. I'll take that 150 off you next year. I want to do them big checks. Them big checks, the lottery ones. I want to do them big checks, put KG on it, put 150 quid on it, Ten Hag, maybe a picture of him, maybe a picture of them. I'm sure they've done something together on United View. But we've got that 150 Ten Hag Arteta one, which, TikTok. We've got £100 on more trophies this season, Arsenal United. Now, I'm trying to get the higher finish one, but that Brighton result damaged it. Now, the best I can hope for is Man United go beat Liverpool on Sunday. If they beat Liverpool on Sunday, KG is going to be vulnerable. He is. If United beat Liverpool, KG might, that's when to attack next. So don't worry, people. We're moving in silence, but we're gonna get what we came for in the end, and it's a marathon. It's not a sprint. So game week 2, we move. Lamin says Eddie being sold got him Harlem shaking out of joy. Come on, first donation I've ever done. Big up yourself. Come on, Mula. I see you, my bro. It's not about donations. I see your name always supporting anyway in the chat. Kareem says Odegaard, Merino. Only one missing is Isak. Oh yeah, that picture. Brian says make a video apologizing to the Don. Love though. What apologize? You know what's funny? And I'm gonna bring this up next time I talk to Robbie because people are shameless. People are shameless. Well, I'm gonna apologize because we got 25 plus 5 for Eddie. When I said I'd take 15. I'm still telling you I would have taken 15. More fool me, cool, whatever. We made an extra 10 mil. What are we gonna do with it? Let's find out, and we can talk then a bit more. But the reality is, at the beginning of this window, Robbie, amongst others, was saying 40, 50 mil. Let's not forget that, Brian, because you were probably one of them. You lot was saying 40, 50 mil for Eddie, and I was saying 15, 20. You lot are mad. Now he's gone for 30. You lot are turning to me saying, oh, apologize. Brother, you lot said 40, 50 mil. So I don't get the whole apology thing. Really, it just fell right in between what delusional thoughts you lot had about the price and what derogatory thoughts I had about the price. I guess that's what you call it. That's what you call it. Big up Ian as well. No comment attached, but a donation. Bakayoko Williams or a Dingra, and I'm happy. Yeah, I'm happy. Not Bakayoko, because Bakayoko is strictly a Saka backup, whereas Nico and a Dingra can challenge Martinelli, and well, I say challenge. I mean, Nico comes in and takes that pretty imminently if Martinelli doesn't, fix up his form. Big up, or I called him on it on the call show. Oh shit, I called him on it on the call-in show about the bet. He was like, I have bills to pay, and then after said they will get another trophy. KG's that guy's the lowest of low. On one hand, he will say, we're gonna finish above you. Yeah, I said it. And then when he's offered a bet, he'll turn around and say, I ain't bought my kid's school uniform yet. How you meant to work with that sort of a being? Like what? Either you're on it or you're not on it. You can't be on it, off it, on it, off it. That just doesn't make sense. If surely as a man, you've got to stick to your word. Anything I say, if you ask to bet me, I'll bet you. Anything I say. Unless it's caught up in banter amongst the big six, because then it could get a bit you could be caught out and say a mad thing. But in terms of me talking right now, if I say we're gonna finish above United and someone says I bet you £50, let's do it. How do we secure this bet? If I turn around and say we're winning the league, no doubt about it, and a Man City fan comes out and says, bet me £100, I'd bet it. But I haven't said that. I said I think we can. And there's a few days after the window where I've got to make a definitive judgment on that, after the window ends. And we'll see about that. We'll talk about that. But yeah, KG is. What do you think of Huang? Nah. Didn't wait this long for Huang, I'll be honest with you. Glad. I mean, decent, okay, but nah. Didn't, yeah. I mean, I just said, next few days I've got to make a definitive. I mean, if Huang comes in the next few days, my definitive thing is City. Yeah, 5 times. So I'd expect a lot better than that, Ian, if I'm honest with you. But good player. Cryptic Dean, hope you're good as well, my guy. Getting used to the familiar faces again. Now I'm kind of doing content again regularly. Big up the 1.8k in the building as well, man. Love for the love. 660 likes as well. Let's get the likes up to 1,000 if we can, people. If we can. Let me see my subscriber count as well before it goes below 90. Nope. We're 86 over 90k. Beautiful. Community. Love for the love. Yeah. 10k more, we hit 100 and then we make the next moves. But yeah, big up Dean. Martinelli was one of my favorite players at the club. If he has another season like last, are fans going to treat him like Eddie? No. The thing, very different. I mean, Martinelli was my player of the season 2 seasons ago, 22-23. He was my player of the season. I think the way he ended the season as well kind of topped off for me what was a great season. What did he score? 16 goals. He was key in the running. Trossard took his spot for a second. He came back and took it back and scored 8 goals in the running. He was one of the only players, if not the only attacker, to stand up during that collapse at the end of that season. And he was my player of the year. Last year, if you asked me for biggest disappointment of the year, it would have been also him, because the expectation for me was that Martinelli and Saka go on to score more goals and cause more problems in the opposition box. Now, Saka went on to, keep his trajectory on the right track. Martinelli didn't. So the question if he has another season like last season, let me break this up. If he has another season like last season, then I can't lie, it's time to upgrade on him. Even though if Nico Williams is available now, I'd bring him in. And that's not saying I'd give up on Martinelli, but Martinelli has to improve this season. He has to. And I think him improving this season, coupled up with everyone else maintaining their form and consistency from last season, I think we win the league. I think if you have Arsenal from last season, player for player, consistency, stability, all of that, and you add a 22-23 Martinelli to that, we win the league. We get 95 points. So that's Martinelli's target. If he gets 10-12 and he doesn't hit 15-16 what he hit that season, listen, he's bounced back for sure. But if he gets 5, 6, 7, last season, similar numbers, it's not about treating him like Eddie. Eddie did nothing for the club. I'll be real. He did nothing and got the 14 shirt and 100k. Martinelli at least gave us something to believe in and also helped us in our trajectory back from being a banter club to a club that's well respected again, And I don't mean by opposition fans, because they're always going to chat shit. I mean, in the football world, Martinelli was part of that, and he was a young man doing it as well. Like, it wasn't just Saka, it wasn't just Saliba. He was part of it. So it's not a case of treating him like Eddie, but it is a case of now we're a top club. This, top football clubs, romantic stories are few and far between. Few and far between. You know, when you get them, it's beautiful. You know, when you get a romantic story, a club and a player, and it's absolutely beautiful. But it's few and far between. It's much more ruthless than it is romantic. So, as much as we would all like to dream that Martinelli, if you for me, it's no question. I said he starts the season as our left winger. I think Trossard deserves a start now, but I think Martinelli comes back into it at some point. So I'm not giving up on Martinelli, but what I'm saying is now, when you're a top club, you're ruthless. 2 seasons in a row, if a player isn't standing up to it, you have to think about. To be honest, after 1 season, you got to think about it. After 2 seasons, you pretty much got to act on it. So yeah, hope that answers your question. I hope. 1.8K watching. Let's get to 1,000 likes. Let's. Window is a free if no attacker arrives. No excuses. I mean, free. Yeah, 4. 4. I think Merino 4. Eddie 25 plus 5. Emil Smith Rowe 34. The pace of the move for Eddie has to be taken into account, because as much as the value in itself is beautiful, the pace of it potentially has affected other moves we could have or might want to have done. I'd say 4, maybe 5, 4.5. 4.5, I'd say, so far this window, with Merino coming in. If an attacker comes in and it's a proper attacker, then we're talking 7s, 8s, maybe 8s, but it has to be the right name. 7.5. We'll talk. One-on-ones are back. Make sure you're subscribed. Cool. Where was I? I was bigging up Curtis. 41 minutes in, coming up to 2,000 people watching. Surely we can get to 1,000 likes. I was bigging up Curtis because he had Ben Jacobs on earlier, and to be honest, it's similar subject to what we were just speaking about. People, the transfer window, and that's what it's going to be this week. The transfer window, but a few things popped up. That made me bring out the pen and paper. It's not often I do that, but we move. First thing I wrote down was pretty early in the video. Go subscribe to Curtis as well, people. Obviously, he's doing his thing. A lot of you are probably subscribed, but Ben Jacobs was on there, and like I said, I think he's someone that does some transfer stuff. Yeah, I can't tell you much else. He said Sesko available again in. Okay, so I've just briefly wrote down notes to remind myself what he said. So he basically said Arsenal were 100% interested in Sesko. And it's not like we lost that to another club. He just wanted to stay another year for his development. He very much believes in the Arsenal project, and Arsenal are number one in 12 months' time when he becomes available again. Now, listen. Football is not always romantic. Yeah. 12 months is a long time. Anything can happen. Good things, bad things. Anything can happen. And to be honest, I've only wrote down 3 things from the Ben Jacobs appearance on Curtis Shaw TV, but they all lean to the same direction, which I'm gonna expand on later. But he said 12 months available. He wants Arsenal, so it's wise for us. That was the suggestion. It's wise for us to wait, and a lot of people say this. If the right player's not out there, don't panic. Wait, they'll be there next year. How do you know everyone else at the club will be there next year? How do you know other clubs won't do something better next year? How do you know these things? Why don't we live in the present, look at what we need now, and do it? I don't care if he was your first choice and it didn't work out. Wipe the tears and keep it moving. I heard this after Vlahovic. After Vlahovic, it was, oh, we have to wait to find the profile. We've brought in Jesus now, but surely, in a year we'll sort it out. And to this day, we're waiting for a Vlahovic profile. Now, Sesko, you might say, okay, similar, you might say, cool. It's what took 2.5 years to find the same profile again. If so, who's to say it doesn't take another 2.5 to find it again? Who's to say Sesko, who loves our project this summer, loves another project next summer? I don't trust none of these, man. Do you? I don't give a. And by these men, I don't mean Ben Jacobs and there. You already know in terms of journalists and in the nose and stuff. I couldn't care less. But I mean, in terms of footballers and all of this stuff, there's no loyalty in the game. It's not romantic. It's business. He might love us now. Who's he going to love next year? So we cannot do this waiting thing because the suggestion that it's smart to wait. Let me give people a scenario. Okay, we wait 12 months time. We miss out. We miss out on the league again. We're second, ninth. We're second on the same points as City this time. Goal difference. Goal difference lets us down. They scored a couple more than us, and it's peak heartbreak. If only. If only we brought that attacker in that could have got us the extra goals that would have won us the league. Goal difference, nah. But we just missed out. We missed out. It was progress, but we missed out. We missed out again. Then we signed Sesko. We signed Sesko that summer. Bang, people. We're in. We're in. We've missed that to City 2 years in a row, and we've just signed Sesko. Bang, we are in. Pep Guardiola leaves. They bring in another manager. Who knows if it's going to work or not, but they bring in another manager, and they say to that manager, here's Musiala. Here's Musiala. What do we think of Sesko then? Where does our hope and belief go then? Live in the present now, please. Because right now, Man City haven't done what we, number one, thought they would be doing this summer. Two, really should have been doing this summer. And we need to capitalize, or we should have capitalized on that. Not worry about 12 months later because that profile is going to be available. Because in 12 months, shit could be very different. You need to be working now. And this, let me go to the next point I wrote down. Again, Ben Jacobs says spending 200 million every summer isn't the Arsenal way. And he mentioned if you're spending another 200 mil this summer, it means something's gone wrong because, it's a mix of promotion of academy and, player sales and all of this stuff, all of this stuff. I'm going to tell you where all these 3 points are leaning towards now because we're on to the second. They're leaning towards a lot of the same stuff I was hearing 10 years ago. Now, listen, I know a lot of you lot watching are young. And I know a lot of you lot watching think I'm negative, pessimistic, all of that. I am pessimistic, not negative. I'm more real, but it comes across negative because, to be honest, in large, we haven't won a major trophy. So since I've been on YouTube, it's going to be more negative than you might like. But these things are all sounding like 10 years ago when we was 1-2 pieces away with Wenger. That's not the Arsenal way. Go buy that player to fix the problem. No. That player might promote into that. Wilshere, he might be fit this season. He comes in. Forget that player. He's coming in now. Oh, he's a new signing. He was injured all of last season. Let's bring him in there. These are all things I've heard before in the past. Now, I'm not saying we have to spend 200 million every summer. I get that. But our net spend this summer is what, 30, 40, 50 mil? That's outrageous. 50 mil. Let's just say 50. I think it's less, but let's just say 50. We just finished second 2 years in a row. Okay. We've spent big to get to where we are. Maybe we're limited, but 50? That's insane. For me, that's insane. But then we had the money for Sesko, which would have been some money, no? Decent amount, 60 mil, what? Something like that, 50, 60? Oh, we're saving that for next year. But we could have done it this year. On the books, we could have done it this year. On the books, right? PSR, FFP. We could have. It was just, so why wait? If we can spend 60 million on the books now, but it's not going to be on Sesko, okay, go spend it on something else. The left winger then. So a lot of what Benji and in general fans are saying as well 10 years ago, the last thing was no panic buying. And again, some similarities to 10 years ago, but also some might say we panic buyed our way through many summer transfer windows, which is true. I mean, Arteta came in, amongst maybe the worst 72 hours of panic buying I've ever seen. Mikel Arteta, Park Chu-young, Andre Santos, Yossi Benayoun. People have to deep what we've done in that 72 hours. But Okay, let me go back round, because this point I'm talking about here is no one's asking them to panic buy. I'm not saying in the last 3 days panic buy. What I'm saying is in the last 3 days, go back to the list you surely have that Mikel has surely given you and get one of them over the line. If it's not A and it was Cisco, get B. Heck, get C. Get something. That's what I don't get. I'm not saying panic. I'm not saying go pull out an alphabet out of thin air and get that one. I'm saying surely there's an A, B, and a C at the bare minimum, if not a D and a E. But let's just say A, B, C. That's what. It's not. But people like to word it in a way where Arsenal fans relax. We're not going to panic buy. No one's saying panic buy. We're just saying be on top of it, which they have been for large parts of the last 2-3 years in the windows. But like I said, all three of these points, amongst other points made on Twitter and on YouTube from fans, from pundits, from whoever, the same circles and the same, because I don't know who some of these people are on Twitter or what they are, if I'm honest, which is probably a better way to put it. But a lot of these things I'm hearing now are very reminiscent of things I was hearing 10 years ago when we never actually showed the ambition to win the league. And lo and behold, we didn't win the league. We might have come close. It would have been special, but we never, ever, ever had a summer where we said we're winning the league off the back of it. Never. Closest was last summer. Closest. That was the best summer we've had in the Emirates era. That was the best summer we've had under the Kroenkes. In isolation, listen, Ozil, mad signing. Nothing will beat that buzz. Well, something would, and Mbappe. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what we've had, nothing will beat the Ozil transfer. But that was that transfer window was a hard one to get through. It was a difficult one to get through. But that feeling was mad. Sanchez feeling was mad. But in terms of both those windows, it was more a case of, all right, we're turning a corner. Last season, it was, we've turned the corner. What are we going to do? Oh, shit, 100 million on Rice. Oh, shit, 200 million spent. Okay. It was just the Havertz thing that kind of, for me, deflated the whole vibe. As much as a lot of people, didn't care. I cared because I just thought we could have done better. And now, listen, like it or not, people, like it or not, there is more pressure on Havertz this season. Without a shadow of a doubt, it was always going to happen, but more so now than ever, because not only is it his second season now at Arsenal and his fifth season in the Premier League, fifth, three at Chelsea, you want to ask? Yeah, fifth. Not only is he trusted up front again, and what looks like trusted up front for what will be the majority of the season, because I don't think we're getting a striker. He has to put all that aside. All of that means he has to improve on his output and continue, delivering the way he's delivered in 2024, because he has delivered in chunks, in large chunks. But now I'm hearing that the money side of things are a problem, because we are hearing that, right? That the money side of things are a problem. Now I'm hearing that. I just wonder what some of the people last season telling me to stop going on about fee and wages think now, because that has increased the pressure on Havertz as well, because Havertz was meant to be the 8. Let's not forget, it didn't work out, so he looks like he's going to be our 9. The pressure is on, because I don't care that it didn't work out in the 8. Well done to Mikel for noticing it quick and changing it up to the point where even I had to turn around and say, Havertz, well done. In 2024, that end of the season, well done. I mean, there was still like Bayern Munich, for example, like where was you and so on, but there was a few people, where was you? So we're not going to dwell. This season, you're our 9. You're our highest paid player. And you are the one that came in 12 months ago, the last window we had, where we had the money to throw and go for it. Declan Rice too, but Declan Rice, he set the levels last season anyway for the majority of it. He needs to maintain that, whereas Havertz needs to progress on that. So what I expect from our 275K a week, number 9 is 20 goals. 20 goals. Do I think he's going to get it? That's another story. My expectation is 20 goals. Fingers crossed, because if he gets 20, I think we win the league. Big if. And obviously that might have some impact in the next few days with the transfer stuff and all of that. But I doubt we buy a striker. Like I said, look at AFC Camden. They're on Nunes. Whoa. But again, who are these people though? Even though I've heard this guy's name as well. Let me see quickly. 15 minutes ago, Arsenal interested in signing Darwin Nunes before Friday's deadline. Player keen to move to London and work under Mikel to win trophies, plus Liverpool willing to sell. Improbable, but not impossible. What kind of a last sentence is that, though? Improbable, but not impossible. That's just like, that for me's ruined the whole rumor. Because it's like you've told us something and then said it's probably not likely. That's not unlikely. The fuck? Nunes. What do I say about Nunes? Let me get a super chats in. Edu needs to go get that. Ian. What do you mean Hana Sushi? Is that you? Is that head chef? Is that boss man? Nah. What are you doing on my channel? I'm gonna come into the shop on Thursday. I'm confused. Ben Jacobs on Arsenal's PR payroll. Oh, well, thank you, Ian. Why do Arsenal deals take so long to finalize? Snake Eyes. That is the $1 million question. More time is tactical. Big Turkey and I love my boy. Hope little man is good. He is good, Ricken. He is good. Sleeping right now. But he is good. Growing too fast, man. Like, sometimes I just look at him and I'm just thinking, it wasn't so long ago I was breaking up that chicken nugget and giving it to you. Now look at you with your knife and fork. Who do you think you are? It's all mad. But it's the best feeling in the world. Big up KD, my brother. Hope you family are all well. Ben's statement. Chelsea sold players and able to buy lots of players. Going by that logic, what about United with Europa? Finishing 8th, able to spend so much on players when they have been so bad in transfers. Yeah, I mean, Curtis raised that point. He raised that point to Ben. But really, you know what we had. Like, there's no real answer to it. It's the easy answer, right? It's the easy answer. Come on. But yeah, this how reliable is this AFC Camden to win trophies? Okay. Whoa, Darwin Nunes. All right, wait, let me see. Max, are you still watching? Let me see if Max is still watching. Max, if you're still watching, man, I need to put Nunes in this thumbnail too. Might be late though. It's late. It is late. Max, if you're watching, message me, my bro. But we're gonna talk about Nunes as well. Why not? Because it's just come through, and we might as well talk on Don Robbie's news, Toney to Arsenal. So, okay, Robbie. What did he say exactly? He said he's got news, but he can't state the source. But Arsenal will move for Toney before Friday. That was basically what he said, right? To be honest with you, Robbie wouldn't make up that someone told him that, first and foremost. So someone did tell him that. Not that I've seen Robbie today. I haven't seen him for a few days now, but someone would have told him that. Now, the reliability of it all, I mean, hit and miss. You know my opinions of in the nose and sources and all of this stuff. Like, I find it very difficult to put my word on someone else, put my word as someone else's or for someone else's word. It's too hit and miss. But when it's a hit, it's a hit. as we know. Look at some of these accounts with 200, 300, 400K on Twitter. Couple hits, and people don't remember the misses. But Toney to Arsenal, I mean, it would be a bit strange waiting this long to entertain it. I don't really believe it, and to be honest with you, I would be quite not disappointed. I would be disappointed. I'd be more disappointed with no Toney, but I'd be disappointed with Toney. So if it's a choice of Toney or no Toney, the choice is Toney, but it's a choice between being bitterly disappointed and disappointed. Either way, it's disappointment. It's just in different levels of disappointment. So yeah, Toney, all right, we take a punt here if we ain't got no other options, if we've left ourselves no choice. But at the same time, if it is a Toney, if it is one of these last minute shots in the dark, then come May next year, it doesn't save the people in charge. It doesn't save the people in charge. Oh, it wasn't Toney we wanted. That's why we didn't win the league. It was Sesko, but now we've got. I don't care. I don't care. Well, over an hour in as well. Just check the time. 2.2K in the building. Have we hit 1,000 likes? 970. We're bound to hit 1,000 when I ask right now. Big up. Love for the love, people. And like I said, big up the community, man. 90.1K, 0.1 now. We're secure. I can safely say 90K. Love for the love. Because before I was a bit shaky, a bit nervous and all of that, because it was on 90K, then it went to 89,999, then it was 90 plus one, and then it went back down after people were playing games. Now we're on 90.1K. So the road to 100, we're out here, people. We're out here every Monday. The OGs, me and Curtis. Who do you want? Because the market is shit. Who do I want? Okay, realistic. And by that, I mean, 4 weeks ago, I would say Isak's realistic, because people that tell me you cannot take him and ruffle feathers and all that, just leave me alone and be quiet. Yes, you can. Look at the way Liverpool ruffled feathers with Van Dijk and then picked him up not so long after. But with 3 days to go, that's definitely not realistic. So with 3 days to go, realistic. The thing is, Gyökeres started the season. Nico Williams has started the season. Like when I see players start the season, I think, as much as I feel like your value and wages we can get, I feel like the decision's been made. You've started the season, so all right. Big up Jashar as well, man, my bro. I need to respect more than that. You're the elder statesman, my uncle. But listen, a valued member of the community. Nice to see you still large and in charge in the comment section. Realistically, in the last few days, I wasn't too mad with Lookman. I wasn't too mad with that one. Wasn't too mad with that. Not saying him outright, but I wasn't too mad with that. You're gonna have to give me a chance to think about this, because I haven't thought about it. I've made a point of this summer making the point that it's not up to me and I don't care who I want, because over the years I've put people on the, you know, up as a suggestion, and we've gone completely a different way, and our trajectory's gone on the right path up. So what do I know? So I haven't really researched much. Merino, like I said a couple of years ago, I said him. Who would I want in the last 3 days? I ain't got a clue. Osherman. Osherman's the most realistic one that is worth the risk. That one would be the one that, if we was to buy him, I would have been equally as happy with buying him at the beginning of the window as I would be now. It wouldn't feel like last 3 days. It wouldn't feel like a Toney where it's like last 3 days we've just gone on. At least with Osherman, it's like, all right, you know, his stock is not as high as it was, but his stock was high not so long ago. So that's the one where I'd be like, realistically, let's just go get him. Shouldn't be that much of an issue either, really, really. But yeah, as realistic as that sounds, it's not realistic, is it? Kudos, I don't think that's realistic either. Big up Say says, big up Turkish. Hope all doing good. is back to chat. Date confirmed. Me, my father coming to UK for Liverpool versus United game at OT. Hoping I can catch up with you all. Back your chat's looking like Saturday. Saturday the 7th of September. That's what back your chat's looking like. It hasn't been announced yet. It is getting quite late, but Saturday the 7th. I believe it's 7th. It's just off the top of my head anyway, but I believe it's the 7th. So if you are local, if you're about, then make sure you catch us, man. It'll be in Shoreditch again anyway, and we'll post all of that stuff and the address and details soon enough. But yeah, let's move. And by let's move, I was about to say let's move on to the next topic, but my notes have run out, folded and put away. So the next topic is up to you. I got one more topic in me, and then I just got the time, 10:10. I've got to roll somewhere as well. But I'll take a few questions. Go on, hit me with some questions, people. Why not? Why not? We've hit 1,000 likes. We've hit 90K subscribers. That hit me with a few questions, comment section. Don't worry about the super chats, even though News got one in now. Let me get this in while the rest of you are getting some questions. I think the issue with Osterman has been his wage ask, considering he has Saudi interests who are able to pay 400K and upwards a week. The thing about it is, if you want that, go there. There must be a reason you've turned that down, because you still got ambition. You still want to play in a top league. You still want to maybe live in a city that suits your character and personality and needs. So if that's the money you want, bounce over there. If you want a bit more of this stuff, then lower your demands a little, which I don't think would be a problem. I mean, quite often people and these subjects come up like, oh, he wants a lot of money. Oh, he wants this club. Like even with Nico Williams, to this day, I'm hearing people say he wants Barcelona. He rejected Barcelona. He could have gone Barcelona this summer. So I just don't understand when people still say he wants Barcelona. Like, who told you that? Deco has said he didn't want to come. The guy got booed the other day playing against them. He could have gone to the club that you're saying he wants to go to. So sometimes people just talk for the sake of talking and just make up, like, I don't know. It's like a defense mechanism. Oh, we can't get him. He wants to go there. Oh, we can't get him. His wages are this. Oh, we can't get him. He's going to cost this. Give it a rest. It's better you don't talk than talk absolute nonsense that's got not even shaky foundations, no foundations. So yeah, with the Osherman stuff, I don't know where any of that noise came from regarding wages and all of that. Darwin Núñez to Arsenal. Look at X. Discuss, please. That was to be honest, I forgot about that. Darwin Núñez. Discuss, please. This one's quite a mad one, isn't it? Out of nowhere. I don't think Darwin Núñez is shit, but he's closer to shit than great, which doesn't bode well. And if that's the best thing I can say about him, then we're struggling, people. Chaos. I mean, I know people have liked this whole chaos thing. I just think it's cringe. Oh, he causes chaos. Yeah. Like, what do you mean? This is not gladiators. Like, this is football. Like, what do you mean he causes chaos? Like, I need someone that's gonna bury it, or someone that's gonna put it on a plate to be buried, or someone that's gonna control the game, or someone that's not gonna let goals in. I don't need chaos. I just think chaos is used as a description for someone that is a bit messy. I think that's and it's not messy with an I. It's definitely not messy with an I. I think they got to change the word messy, because it's disrespect that that messy. Nah, they need to change the word messy, and by that I mean the one with a Y. We need a new word for Messi, not Lionel. He Messi is now his name. It's his word. We need a new name for Messi. But yeah, I think chaos is another word for Messi. So Núñez for me, nah. And what did they sign him for? Like 80 mil, 70 mil? Nah. Núñez and Havertz. space and chaos. I don't think that doesn't sound like it's going to win you the league. Space and chaos is. I don't think space and chaos is going to win us the league, people. I don't think space and chaos is going to win us the league. Space and chaos is combustion. Space and chaos could be the end of the world. Yeah. That is a very risky move. When you put them two things together, I don't want to be anywhere near that. Let me know. I'm going back to LA. Yeah. I'm going back to LA, and then I'll watch the match from there. Yeah. Because London could be finished. It could be finished. Space and chaos with Arteta. Nah. Arteta doesn't want that. Arteta doesn't want that. Steve, Arteta doesn't want that. Come on. Surely not. Arteta comes from the Pep school. Surely it's not. He doesn't want Nunes. That doesn't make sense. It's only AFC Camden that said it, and then he ended it with this whole Shakespeare thing about improbable but not impossible. I don't like that. So really, everyone's going to run with this now. And he didn't really. He said something without saying it. Improbable but not impossible. I could literally just come and say that about anyone right now. Anyone. Remittance advice. What's this? What kind of emails am I getting right now? Ah, good emails. Good emails. Income. We like income. Thank you. Big up Big Steve in the chat. Darwin Nunes to Arsenal. That's the one I just read. Space, Chaos, and Starboy. Sounding like Star Wars. Saka will be out of here. If we put Space and Chaos next to Saka, then yeah, I mean, let's not forget at the end of this season, Saka's got 2 years left. So I don't think we need to be putting Space and Chaos around him. I think we need to put someone he can look up to, someone he can learn off, feed off. And I don't think Spaceman does it. Not the worst player, but far from Darwin Nunes. Darwin Nunes. How did that just come out of nowhere? Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. But we got 3 days left. And you know what, people? I'm going to be live again. Tomorrow's Wednesday. I'll be live again tomorrow night. You know what? 2K here live. We've passed 1,000 likes. You've shown love. I've got to show love back. I'll be back again tomorrow night around 9 o'clock. If not 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, could be 8 o'clock, could be 11, but I don't think it'll be 11. That's a bit too late. So look out for 8, 9, 10. I'll be back tomorrow. And you know what? There'll probably be more on the Nunes stuff. There'll probably be more on some other stuff. You know, there's 72 hours and 42 minutes of the transfer window gone or to go. So yeah, I'm sure news will be coming thick and fast. It's actually quite, I might not look it, but it's exciting. I don't look it because I'm not excited yet, but it's exciting. Arsenal, excite me. People, love for the love. I'll be back tomorrow, 9 p.m. Make sure you're there too. And love to everyone that's subscribed. 90K, road to 100 real soon, people. We're out. Peace. We're not out. We've got a super chat. We've got to respect the community. So we're going to do the outro again. Love for the love anyway. I mentioned wages regarding Osimhen because Fabrizio has mentioned that being an issue with PSG and Chelsea signing him. And Osimhen's a bit of a madman then, isn't it? Because what do you want, brother? You want money? Go Saudi Arabia then. You want competition and profile? There's Paris, there's London. Well, what do you want? Pick, brother. And pick quick. There's 3 days to go. But yeah, love for that super chat, my brother. Buzzer beater. That's what we'll call it. I caught it just in time. But now we are at people. Love for the love. I'll be back tomorrow 9 p.m. Make sure you're there too. Peace.